Some more stuff coming in out of China. We talked about how they're going to put a sort of moratorium on how many video games, how many hours of video games you can play a week if you're under 18.
Bad news, Adam.
That's going to be, 8 to 9 Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. And there's going to be two-step authentication, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's a new one. China's government has banned effeminate men on TV in an effort to enforce official morality. The TV regulator said broadcasters must, quote, resolutely put an end to sissy men and other abnormal aesthetics.
I just heard Johnny Weir break a pencil. Just closed my eyes. And remember that used to be the thing? Yeah. Like, the boss is upset. Snap.
Yeah.
Snap that pencil.
It's funny, we all think of Johnny Weir as, effeminate. He is, the flamboyant. He's 10 times the athlete any of us will ever be.
I know.
10. The Chinese government is reportedly worried that the country's pop stars are failing to encourage young men to be masculine.
Oh, yeah, the pop star thing. They're very...
pretty.
Elton John circa 1975. You know what I mean? Big, loud, colorful.
Well, but like pretty.
Yes.
Like, like BTS or whatever, like the Korean pop stars or whatever. The boys are very pretty. And maybe the government doesn't like that.
It's basically living in China is like having Todd Marinovich for. It's like his dad. It's like his dad, Marv Marinovich, living in the same house with you.
Tie an arm behind your back. Learn to throw left-handed.
Right. Yeah.
Now, Marv Marinovich was taskmaster.
And a strength coach for
USC. He was a famous USC lineman or something.
Oh, and the strength coach later on.
Yeah, he played and coached for USC. His son, he molded, some might say in a draconian way, into a perfect athlete. Didn't work out.
Oh.
But it was enough to get Marinovich into the show. Like, he became a starting NFL quarterback, and then the wheels came off the wagon. So maybe China will go down that road. You know what I mean? Like, no video games, no sissy talk, no plucking your brows, puss.
No sugar, it was very...
It'll work for a while.
Strict.
Yeah. But at some point, maybe they'll end up high on the beach in Hermosa.
Marinovich is an accomplished painter.
Oh, okay.
So it could work out for everybody.
Well, he had an episode.
He had a rough go of it.
I'm hoping that happens, because on the other hand, if you really just think about it, we're all just hanging back making fun of this while we're getting fat and playing video games and acting like chicks. We're going to get our fucking lunch eaten in a few years.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't totally oppose the, 3 hours a week on video games, but we'll see what they come up with next. Jay Leno has a new gig. I don't know if you've talked to him about this or not.
I have.
Okay, so maybe you have some insight. He will start hosting the quiz show reboot of You Bet Your Life starting September 13th.
Yeah, I like to work.
The original and best-known version.
I haven't spent any of the checks yet.
Oh, that's
from the
right.
Tonight Show.
Yeah, Jay, you still have a
fire up the Duesenbeck, right?
You still have a giant refrigerator box of uncashed checks.
Yeah.
You don't need to work?
No, I have to work. Mavis is at home. So what are you going to do? You got to work.
You should look into direct deposit. The refrigerator box is a fire hazard.
That's true. So, if you've heard of the game, you probably knew that the most popular host was Groucho Marx. How many years ago was that? And his sidekick, George Fenneman. Do you know who Jay's sidekick's going to be?
Yeah, I picked him.
Yeah, your
Kevin
buddy.
Eubanks.
Yeah, your buddy Kevin Eubanks.
Place got time. It's great. It's great, fantastic. That's Jay does two things. It's an old school thing. He does the "How you doing?" and then answers for you.
No, I like
That's
that.
Right. Hey, Gina, how you doing? Good. All right, good, fantastic. All right, Brian, how you doing? Yeah, you doing good? Cancer, good.
Yeah, doing
good. All right, everyone's doing good. Hey, Jay, how am I doing? I'm doing good. Okay, so we're all three for three.
Moving on.
He does that. And then he'll do the thing. It's an old school thing. Well, he'll go, Kevin Eubanks. Yeah, he's going to be signed. He's a marvelous guitar player. Like just shove it in there.
He'll to start with giving his resume.
Yeah, he tours everywhere. I love it.
He's always talking up to a commercial.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Guess what other shows are getting a reboot?
What is You Bet Your Life? I didn't know what the format was.
had to do like some fairly extensive research because for some reason it just wasn't like clicking with me at all. It seems like it was basically just two random people picked from the audience and they were on a team together. I guess it was maybe two teams of random people from the audience. It's just a quiz show. You just ask a question. And then every once in a while, or at least back in the day, there was a secret word that the audience would hear without the the competitors. And if they accidentally said it or whatever, like a duck would come down and give them $100.
Yeah, I mean, the technology back when Groucho did it was a stuffed duck on fishing line.
Right.
With literally some grip would just drop from the ceiling. Like you think about now it's going to be a whole big screen and it's going to pop on the whatever.
A 3D duck.
Right. And it was funny because they said like in later years, and I don't know if it was Sweeps Week, they'd have like a girl in hot pants come down on a ring.
Oh,
you know,
right,
like
sure.
Harpo came down and delivered it once. The other games that are being brought back by ABC alone, just ABC, one of my favorites, Press Your Luck, $100,000 Pyramid.
They must own the rights. Who has nostalgia for these games? I love game shows. I have no fucking idea how to play any of
I
these.
think they're very cost effective.
They must own the rights. Right?
Match Game.
They gang tape so they can get Alec Baldwin.
Right.
Or Jay Leno, they can get big names to host and get folks to come out of, lucrative acting careers to come do it because it's pitched as, it's just you spend the whole day there on Friday, you knock out 5 of them, you get a $1 gajillion, you go home. Like, that's why everyone does it. Yeah.
So Press Your Luck, $100,000 Pyramid, Match Game, To Tell the Truth, and Celebrity Dating Game.
Yeah, so Alec does a match game, right?
Yeah.
Let's all just think about Alec Baldwin hosting Match Game. That sounds insane.
It sounds like an
a great
Onion headline.
Thespian who donates his time to his charities and teaching acting for free at the local college. He's in. So if he's in, anyone's in because there's so much money.
Yeah.
And, truth be told, they're like kind of fun. Like you go to do Match Game. They got a full bar in the back. No one really tells you what to say. Alec's like having a good time. People are busting each other's chops or getting drunk, It's fun.
It's the new, like Lost in Translation. It's the new, you don't have to go overseas to, hock a vodka anymore.
Right,
it's just what we do.
Right.
You guys remember the Mike Myers hosted game show that he did in character?
Oh
my God.
That wasn't that long ago.
No, it was in the Gina
The Gong
era,
Show.
3-4 years.
Was it the Gong Show?
I don't.
Let's see.
Fuck. I'm gonna say I don't think so, but it was something
like
else.
the
It was
Gong Show.
similar to that. And he came out doing like almost an Austin Powers dancing thing.
Right.
And he was in heavy makeup and doing the accent.
Yes.
But I don't think they ever. Okay, if I remember correctly, because I looked it up, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't think they ever copped to it being Mike Myers. Like they were trying to do Andy Kaufman.
Right.
It is the Gong Show.
It in fact is the Gong Show.
But they were trying to do like Mike. Who was his Tony Clifton? Like
Right.
Tony Clifton type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was
happen.
weird.
Super weird. We have another Banksy auction, and it's just because we will literally buy anything. CNN reports that it's been almost 3 years since the Banksy painting partially shredded itself in front of the crowd.
Is it not been 3 years yet, huh?
No, but I want to show you the picture because
That was sweet.
I looked at everybody's faces. Look at the guy on the phone.
Yeah.
He's like shitting himself. Like probably, he's the, what's it called? The liaison.
proxy or-
The proxy.
Yeah, all the heavy hitters they're in one of the OPEC nations bidding with this guy on the phone.
So that sold for $1.4 million at a London auction. Now it's been renamed to Love is in the Bin. It was called Girl with a Balloon. It's up for sale again. And Sotheby's auction house estimates it could get up to over $8 million.
Oh yeah, this would increase the value. It's been restored or taped together again.
Yep.
We're talking about, aren't we?
Oh, no. They'll leave it like that. That is the
in
new
tatters?
art. That's the art. Now, the funny thing is, it
That's
remains
even funnier.
half shredded in the frame, just like we're
great.
looking at it, which concealed this mechanism that Banksy later implied had malfunctioned, prohibiting the whole thing from falling out and falling onto the floor.
Right.
So this is a collector's item.
It's perfect.
That's great.
It's, look, a $50 million car that won Le Mans is more valuable with dents and dings and scuffs and a patina on it.
Fucking
than
James Dean's car.
Just
No one wants the one he successfully drove around Hollywood.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And that's why, and versus the one that's had the nut and bolt restoration. That's where we're at now. We want the patina. We want the story.
Yes.
You're paying for the story. Otherwise, it's paper and a mahogany frame, street value $28.
Right.
So you're paying for this story. That's what everyone is paying for now. And as I told you, when I was in England, just after they ran Le Mans, I was hanging out in front of the Porsche that won its class in Le Mans, and they would fire you if you wiped the windshield down because there was a squished moth on it.
Really?
They take these cars that ran 24 hours, which the front end is filled with bugs and dirt and grime, and the race tires are real soft, and they kick off all these rubber sort of jelly beans, and they scuff everything up. They don't touch it anymore. They put a clear bra around it, like clear tape around it, and they just encapsulate it, and it rolls into the museum at Stuttgart.
That's cool.
In the past, they would wipe them down and then sell them for $80.
Who wants a gently used?
Right. That's how they did it.
Yeah. So this could go for 6 times as much. So we'll keep our eye on that. A rabbi who's also a firearms instructor, goes by the name the Tactical Rabbi, has invented a jacket for Orthodox Jews that allows quick access to your weapon in case of an active shooter in a synagogue, which has happened. I have a picture of it. The jacket traditionally...
This is one of those examples of a sad state of where we are.
Sad state.
And it's funny because the guy, there's a video that goes with it, which is no words, so I didn't grab it. But everyone keeps asking him, is this a joke? He's like, it's not a joke. This is real. So basically these jackets, I think they're called capotas. They're buttoned, traditionally, and this still has the buttons on it, but underneath there are snaps. So you can't tell they're snaps. It's still, I assume it's still kosher if you're, Chabad, religious. So you wear that.
Hold on, Max Zapata. This was chronicled in one of the greatest theatrical releases of all time, which is Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Jesus.
You want to talk about watching?
I thought you were
one
going to
of
say Snatch.
You want to watch one of those movies?
Gina, I don't recommend that one.
Okay.
Watch Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
I mean, I remember it existed. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
The heavies wore the long leather dusters and then slung them open. And
there was a lesser Baldwin in that movie.
Lesser Baldwin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they weren't
He's
Hasidic?
hosting the $73 pyramid, I think, on CNET.
I think
Were they
Boondock
Hasidic in the movie?
I think Boondock Saints had the strap jacket.
Yeah.
I think Snatch had the strap jacket.
Well, they're not
Yes.
cheap. They're $550 a piece. But you know what? Like, if it makes you feel better, and because you have to wear it on Shabbat and on high holidays, and we have a lot of Jewish holidays. So you're going to be in it. Sometimes I imagine these people feel like sitting ducks and they'll warm themselves.
I think use it on the street, too, because they're coming
When you're at
after a lot
sushi.
of those guys walking down the street.
Yeah.
Speaking of the sad state of relating to this of where we are, if you ever driven on like Olympic or Robertson, and they have a lot of like Jewish daycares, or preschools or whatever, they're fucking armed,
Yes.
man. There's like those like the tank buster pylons, I'm
Right.
exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying? Those huge pylons, metal surrounding.
The things that come up in front of the
The bank
federal
robbery,
buildings that no one can drive a van
Yes.
full with explosives in it. Yeah, sad.
I remember in Kansas going to synagogue and seeing the first time we went to, high holidays and saw a security guard, and we were kind of laughing and we were kind of nervous, because one of the synagogues had been vandalized, and now you always see, and you can tell they're probably not Jews. Hard to say, but there's always somebody standing. There you go. There they are, standing out front on high holidays.
Fucking Matrix.
What are we looking at?
Jesus.
We're looking at Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Are they
Don't
from the
pretend
future?
like you don't know what you're looking at.
These are the antagonists.
Yeah, that's not Bruce Willis or Mickey Rourke.
We're looking at our future, essentially. And by the way, shot up the street.
Mickey Rourke and the Miami Vice guy.
Oh, Don Johnson?
Don Johnson.
Ah, you're right. I'm thinking
Yes.
Hudson Hawk.
Shot takes place at the Burbank Airport.
Oh,
In the future, by the way, but I it was one of those movies that was shot in '89 and like 1996. Cyborgs rule the earth, It was one of those 80s movies that had the magical drug that was like purple, and you'd see it going through the test tubes and stuff.
Like blue ice
once
or
blue
something.
ice hits
Yeah.
the street,
Right.
we'll take everything over. Read the byline on that
Such
if
a
you
good
can.
movie.
By the way, I don't know, before The Matrix, so.
Oh yeah, well before.
This looks like Zoolander's derelict collection.
The byline is forced by the imminent foreclosure of their friend's bar.
At the airport, at the Burbank airport, yeah.
Two lifelong buddies will decide to rob a bank's armored car, not knowing that its cargo is not money, but a new street drug.
Ice.
I'm interested.
Blue ice.
I'm kind of
What
interested.
what is this, 88, 89 or something?
As long as we're
91.
91.
91. All right. So one of the movies where for sure they came up with the title, because the one guy drives the Harley, Mickey drives the Harley, and then the Marlboro Man, he's a chain smoker.
Oh, okay.
They both ride
Good product
hogs, but
placement.
he's
It's a
got the
Marvel
cowboy
adaptation.
boots and the hat,
Yeah.
and he smokes.
He actually doesn't smoke.
Oh, he doesn't.
Quit.
He quit,
But
right.
he holds
He
that
holds
one
that
cigarette
cigarette.
Oh,
the
like-
whole movie.
Like Dice.
Yeah.
Like Dice Clay.
Dawson, there's no way you can make it through a whole showing of that without stepping out to the patio,
No
right?
way.
You can't
No
see
way.
a guy holding a unlit cigarette the entire time, right?
But there was a stretch of time in college that I would just try to hold a cigarette, not smoke it, and pretend I was smoking it, but I wasn't smoking it because Harley, the Marlboro Man did it in the movie. Why can't I do it? It should work, right?
Wow.
I'm glad this is a top 10 for Dawson.
Now we're digressing. You reminded me of two movies.
But
Number one-
wait,
Oh, okay.
that's the whole slug line. They just robbed the
That's the
and stole
plot,
the
dude.
blue line, the blue eyes.
Yeah, that's
All right,
also
sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of movies that have that fictional drug, a good one you and Sonny should watch, shockingly good for what it should have been, the remake of Judge Dredd called Dredd. It's actually
I heard that
pretty
was
good.
good.
It's actually like way better than you would think.
I swear I thought you were going to say Kids in the Halls, brain candy.
That's also a good one.
What year was it supposed to be taking place? That's what we need to find
I
out.
love when it's a future that we've already passed.
It's from 91, but
I just
yeah,
looked
it
up the
did
name
what
of the drug.
2012 did. It's like we shot it in 09. This is the future. It's 27 months ahead of where we are now.
It just says in the near future.
Oh, okay.
The
Before 2000.
experimental, the new street drug was called Crystal Dream.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
so
stripper
good.
name.
Kaylin's got a picture of another good movie that has long dusters. You guys ever heard of Equilibrium? That's a little known movie with Christian Bale. It's like a predecessor to The Matrix where he's like kicking ass with swords in the future. Kaylin, you got that picture? Because there is long dusters throughout.
Oh.
Yeah, he fights in that shit.
They work. All right, let me tell you about LifeLock. A massive potential leak involving Microsoft Power Apps may have exposed 38 million records, including Social Security numbers, addresses, and even COVID-19 vaccination statuses. It's important to understand how cybercrime and identity theft are affecting our lives every day. We put our info at risk on the internet. In an instant, cybercriminals could harm your finances and your credit. Good thing there's LifeLock. LifeLock helps detect a wide range of identity threats like your Social Security number for sale on the dark web. If they detect your information has potentially been compromised, they will send you an alert. Protect yourself with LifeLock. Right, Dawson?
No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can help protect what's yours with LifeLock by Norton. Join now and save up to 25% off your first year by using promo code Adam. Call 1-800-LifeLock or head to lifelock.com and use promo code Adam for 25% off.
All right. What do you got? What's going on the screen counter, Max Zapata? Is there something I'm missing there?
It's an hour and two.
Oh.
it's cut
It's
off.
not. It's cut off. All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Gina.
All right. Well, do you want to do a little entertainment roundup? Because I have some fun things that are coming up. Seinfeld will begin streaming on Netflix October 1st, all 180 episodes of
Finally,
the
that
sitcom.
guy gets a payday.
I know. And that's a big deal, I think, for a lot of us who were like freaking out that The Office was taken off Netflix. Well, now Sunny and Natalia will, I'm sure, enjoy Seinfeld. 2 Tom Cruise movies have been postponed.
Oh, come on.
Top Gun Maverick moves
Postpone
from
again?
November of this year to May of next year.
Oi.
It'll kick off the summer season.
And Mission Impossible 7 moves from...
That was the one where he was on set screaming because of the...
I think so.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be September 30th of next year. Oh, no, sorry. That was supposed to be released in May. It's going to be released in September
Wow, Tom Cruise is going to book it in the summer next year.
Yeah, and Paramount blames COVID because they don't want to. I think they're trying to predict how many people will actually be able to go to the theater. They don't want to like blow their wad if they're half empty. And finally, a Steve Urkel animated musical is coming up this holiday. It's called
I'm in.
Did I Do That to the Hold on.
What?
Did I Do That to the Holidays?
Oh.
A Steve Urkel story.
real good.
It'll air.
But they need somebody to play Steve Urkel?
Yes, they do, and he will be playing himself. He will produce it, also reprise his role. Yeah, it's an animated musical.
Oh, okay.
Did I Do That to the Holidays? So we can all look forward to that.
What is he up to?
I was just
Jaleel
thinking that
White.
he must have made a lot of money in the good old days because I don't feel like he needs to work. He was a talented comedic actor. He was good. He was Stefan Urkel. Remember?
On the same show.
Yeah, remember like he got tired of the Urkel things. Like I want to be smooth Urkel.
Yeah, I missed Urkel like I sort of missed Saved by the Bell. Like I just was
Not
a
your-
little too old for it and missed it.
That was big time.
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh my
And
God.
he was a minor character too.
I feel
beginning.
so bad for forgetting he had a small part in Dreamgirls.
He also he has a weed company called Purple Urkel.
Now you're talking.
Now everything snaps back into focus. So he's done a lot of, I think he went the Mark Hamill route, DuckTales, Teen Titans Go, a lot of
Yeah, a lot of
animated.
voices.
Yeah.
Hold on, Dawson. Wasn't Purple Urkel the drug that they were trying to sell? And
Oh man.
Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man, I think you said was called Purple Urkel?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And female athletes, you have to keep your hair out of your face. It could really hurt you to have someone, grab your hair you can't see. But it's funny because everyone ends up in these like very proper braids and these like very like,
Yeah.
Heidi and Sound of Music. It's
They got
very
some
contrary.
of some of their bows I think they got from that lesbo on Dancing with the
Jojo
Stars.
Siwa, yeah.